Welcome to our new video on our channel, Quote Quest. Today's video is about the famous quotes of Daniel Dennett. Daniel Dennett is a prominent philosopher and cognitive scientist known for his work on the philosophy of mind, artificial intelligence, and the philosophy of science. He is a university professor emeritus at Tufts University and has written numerous books including Consciousness Explained and Breaking the Spell, Religion as a Natural Phenomenon. Dennett's work challenges traditional views of consciousness and the mind, and he is widely regarded as one of the most influential philosophers of the 20th century. I hope you will enjoy today's video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Imagination is cheap as long as you don't have to worry about the details. No matter how smart you are, you're smarter if you take the easy ways when they are available. Our fundamental tactic of self-protection, self-control, and self-definition is not spinning webs or building dams, but telling stories, and more particularly connecting and controlling the story we tell others and ourselves about who we are. Science, however, is not just a matter of making mistakes, but of making mistakes in public, making mistakes for all to see in the hopes of getting the others to help with the corrections. Philosophy is questions that may never be answered. Religion is answers that may never be questioned. Anonymous. If nobody cares, then it doesn't matter what happens to flowers. A good library has all the good books. A great library has all the books. Real magic, in other words, refers to the magic that is not real, while the magic that is real, that can actually be done, is not real magic. Philosophy, in every field of inquiry, is what you have to do until you figure out what questions you should have been asking in the first place. Any theory that makes progress is bound to be initially counterintuitive. The chief trick to making good mistakes is not to hide them, especially not from yourself. Carpenters don't make their saws and hammers, tailors don't make their scissors and needles, and plumbers don't make their wrenches, but blacksmiths can make their hammers, tongs, anvils, and chisels. Don't be afraid of a little metaphor. It won't bite you, but you should always make sure you know how to cash it in for unvarnished fact when you feel the urge. There is no such thing as philosophy-free science. There's only science whose philosophical baggage is taken on board without examination. Good people will do good things, and bad people will do bad things. But for good people to do bad things, that takes religion. Ignorance is a necessary condition for many excellent things. You can't change your beliefs as an act of will, in the way you can decide to improve your skills with chainsaw or keyboard. Like many other natural wonders, the human mind is something of a bag of tricks cobbled together over the eons by the foresightless process of evolution by natural selection. Nothing is more difficult and therefore more precious than to be able to decide. There may be things that are completely unknowable to us, so we must be careful not to treat the limits of our knowledge as sure guides to the limit of what there is. My sacred values are obvious and quite ecumenical: democracy, justice, life, love, and truth. One cannot learn all about what it's like to run a marathon by interviewing only those who drop out, but one can learn something. A child raised on a desert island, alone, without social interaction, without language, and thus lacking empathy, is still a sentient being. Now that mobile phones and the internet have altered the epistemic selective landscape in a revolutionary way, every religious organization must scramble to evolve defenses or become extinct. Some of the greatest, most revolutionary advances in science have been given their initial expression in attractively modest terms, with no fanfare. As every scuba diver knows, panic is your worst enemy. When it hits, your mind starts to thrash, and you are likely to do something really stupid and self-destructive. Words have a genealogy, and it's easier to trace the evolution of a single word than the evolution of a language. Some cultural phenomena bear a striking resemblance to the cells of cell biology, actively preserving themselves in their social environments, finding the nutrients they need, and fending off the causes of their dissolution. In short, we need to recover the courage we celebrate in our heroes, and in particular, the courage to tolerate, for the sake of a free society, a level of risk we hardly ever imagined in the past. Our future well-being, the well-being of all of us on the planet, depends on the education of our descendants. The secret of happiness: find something more important than you are and dedicate your life to it. Every living thing is, from the cosmic perspective, incredibly lucky simply to be alive. There are no forces on this planet more dangerous to all of us than the fanaticisms of fundamentalism. I look around the world and see so many wonderful things that I love and enjoy and benefit from, whether it's art or music or clothing or food and all the rest. And I'd like to add a little to that goodness.